The most important part of a training plan often isn't the training itself. So I've completed my first 4 blocks out of 10 blocks of training for the Surf Coast Century. And those 4 blocks covered 5.5 weeks. My first block of training went quite well. It stayed pretty close to the plan. I had it all mapped out, a good structure that I could be flexible with, and most of my training blocks are about 9 days. And that fits in with my shift work roster. And the block would go something like this. Days 1 and 2, rest and recovery. Might be an easy walk, easy run, maybe 3, 4, 5k with the dog. Next day, some hill repeats. Then a basic run, some strength training. Then coming off night shift, it might be a 40 to 90 minute run, depending on how I feel, how my sleep was, and any other commitments. Next is an interval session, mainly aiming for stuff around 5 kilometre or faster pace, high intensity aerobic type intervals without going crazy on the volume. A little bit of strength training after that. Next 2 days, 90-minute runs, just basic, going out feeling comfortable. And then the last day of the cycle, the long run, where I aim to hit similar terrain to what I'll be racing in, plenty of hills, plenty of technical trails, going for 2 to 2.5 hours, carrying the pack, basically simulating what race day will be like. That part's easy. What influences my training the most and whether or not I can handle it is everything else in my life. One of those things is sleep. And doing rotating shift work where I go from days to afternoon, evenings and night shifts, then flip it around after some days off, that adds some challenges to sleep. For the most part, I do pretty well with that. But I've had a couple of moments in my work roster where things had to change at the last minute. Some stuff got flipped around, I got changed out of days into an extra night, and that all caught up with me. But it's the days afterwards that it really seems to impact. And I don't just go on how I'm feeling. For most of the year now, I've been measuring my heart rate variability. I use the HRV for Training app by Marco Altini. It's really simple. I wake up, go to the toilet, get my morning weight, then I sit down, relax, normal breathing, and I use the app on my phone, which uses the camera on my finger. And I sit there nice and calm and let it measure for a minute, and I log the data. I don't use a single reading to go, hey, today I'll take it really easy, or today I've got the green light so I can train harder today. It's not quite that simple. I use it more to keep track, see the trends over time, and that can be over weeks, compare it to months. And what I've found over time is I overestimate how much training I can absorb and how ready I am for it. And I underestimate the impact of some reduced sleep, some extra stress, and some extra going on in the rest of my life. The kids' sport has been crazy, which is absolutely awesome. They've been going from strength to strength in footy and basketball. We've spent nearly a week down in Ballarat for my daughter's footy.
Nice. Force through, Jaya. That's it. Well done.
So back to the training blocks themselves. I skipped plenty of training sessions because I just wasn't feeling right. got some aches and pains going through the legs, which is okay, I expect that, but some of them just feels like my legs weren't recovering. So where to from here? I've got 6 training blocks left. I want to really bump up that fitness. I want to be really ready for the 100-kilometre Surf Coast Century. I still want to get that large beer stein and run a sub 12 hour. What's the best way forward? Paying attention to the rest of my life, not procrastinating, putting things off and getting in the way of the training while not being too stressed about the training itself. So my approach is not to try and push too many of the training sessions themselves. Keep them within that manageable load, getting as many consistent days of training that I can, get to the start line, a fit, healthy body that's ready to go. And my question to you runners is, how much attention do you put into the rest of your life rather than the training program itself in terms of how it's going to affect your training? Do you obsess on it? Do you make changes? Or do you just not think about it? Let me know and keep on running.